Hello, hello. So I have just quickly jumped on to give a little update. Today is Friday and I've got a lovely weekend ahead. I've got a friend's 30th tomorrow and Molly and I are going to a new restaurant in town and it's part of the art house. I think it's something like Celentino's. I'll put in the actual name. Going there. Also, just another quick bit of information is I've started getting back into running, but very casually. I think I just want to feel a bit more toned and fit because I've not for such a long time. And at the moment, touch wood, my skin is calm, which means that the sweating is not as big an issue. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually just getting a good routine with it. I'm not planning on running marathons or even half marathons for that matter. Just generally, I want to get back into 5Ks and 10Ks. And that's my plan. I'll do it, I think I'm aiming to do 3 times a week. I want to do abs 3 times a week. I want to do weights 3 times a week. And I want to do runs 3 times a week. So the days that I'm not doing the abs and the arms, I'll do the runs and then I'll have a rest day. So yeah, that is my plan. And it feels good. I think just because it's started, I think I had the motivation going into a new month, and I think now, albeit it doesn't feel like summer because I live in Glasgow and it feels like winter permanently. I just want to feel fit, but I really struggled yesterday. I did a 5K with Molly and I think it took us 34 minutes, which I was just so chuffed to even put my running shoes on and go out. But I think I got my fastest 5K down to like 21 minutes. I was really gunning for 20. But yeah, anyway, so that is very far from what I'm capable of right now. But I don't feel like I really am that fussed, to be honest, about trying to get a certain time. I just really want to enjoy running again. And I feel good about it. But yeah, I think that's everything. I will show you the book. It's annoying because our party's tomorrow and the book hasn't arrived, which is really annoying, the second part. So this is part 1 of her gift. Yeah. Anyway, peace out. I hope that you're having a lovely July and yeah, I'll catch up with you over the weekend. Bye. I won't actually speak too much about it here because I've included it in my purchases video or bits and fits. And it's I felt like I was malfunctioning there. It's the Bella McGoldrick, who I spoke about in that previous video. Her book arrived and I'm honestly obsessed, but I'll just give you a quick show of it. But yeah, I've talked about it in my other video, so I wouldn't bore you. And then yeah, it comes with all these stickers and so fun. Anyway, that's that. So yeah, I get so excited by other people's work and I feel really inspired. Anyway, that's the first thing. Let me just fix this down here. The next thing is, I'll try not bore you with this, but the weather in Glasgow is getting me down. Currently, it's raining and it feels like winter, so that's been not ideal. I think it might change for the better, but it's bothering me. So that's that, which leads me on to my next point of I have started a new routine and it's reintroducing some exercise, which I made that sound like it was going to be some big thing. No, I've just basically reintroduced exercise because I was feeling Molly and I had a conversation about this yesterday actually. I I was just feeling, and I think I've kind of joked about it a couple of times on here, just not feeling great in myself. And it's nothing, I'm not worried about it, but I think it's just like, albeit I do walk every day, but I've not really exerted myself in about 2 years. I used to do a lot of running, do marathons. When I say do marathons, I did 2. But yeah, it was intense training, and I think that's my issue. I'm kind of going in a tangent, but my issue is I'm not great at doing things by halves. So like for me, I'm either really, really all into it or I'm nothing. So like evidently I either am running marathons or I'm not doing any exercise. And so I'm trying to approach this next chapter, or just this next stage of my exercise journey, with a bit more balance. And that is a huge challenge for me because, as I say, it's really tough mentally for me to just do something and not do it 100%. And the problem is, like, I'll do the thing 100% and then burn out really quickly. Maybe burnout is quite a strong word, but I will almost sicken myself with it, that I've put myself off. So my plan is, not that you asked, my plan is to do 3, because as I say, I'm just slowly reintroducing it, 3 5Ks a week, and maybe ultimately 3 10Ks, but I don't want to, I just want to do it at the moment for fun rather than for distance and for time and all that kind of thing. Because that takes the joy away from it, because I do love running, but I don't like the pressure that I put on myself to perform, and it's not performance, it's just to keep fit. So, also I will say, I didn't do a lot of running because of my skin. At the moment, touch wood, my skin is calm, but yeah, it's autoimmune, so it will do whatever the hell it wants. And also, so yes, I'm going to try and run 3 times a week, do weights 3 times a week, and do an ab workout 3 times a week. That's not a lot. However, it's enough for me at the moment, and I just want to try and test myself to not push it, because as I mentioned, I'm so guilty of, I'll be like, okay, well, now I'll up the ante and I'll do it 4 times a week, 5, and then before I know it, I'm like doing it every single day, and it's like a really intense thing. So also Molly's really good because she'll hold me accountable for saying what I'm saying now. And yeah, I think, like a lot of girls, having had an eating disorder since I was 8, which is wild, kind of on and off, not intensely when I was a child, and then God, I'm not meaning for this to sound depressing, I'm just giving you context for the situation. And then, just kind of a bit at uni, and anyway, so it is more challenging for me to balance the two, because what ends up happening is I do a lot of running and then stop eating as much, and then it just kind of is a slippery slope. And so my challenge to myself, and I'm putting it out there, is just to do it in a healthy manner, because any healthy obsession is unhealthy. So if I get consumed and obsessed with the running and the fitness and eating clean, it is unhealthy. So anyway, that was a big long tangent, but I'm looking forward to just feeling a bit more toned, and not that I'm trying to like lose lots of weight and like look really skinny, I'm just trying to get a bit more toned. But I do think at the moment there's a bit of a toxic culture around healthy eating and like self-improvement and like self-care and all these things, which I think is good in moderation, but I think it is kind of to the point that it's a bit unhealthy, and I think it's, people always feel like they're behind or they're not enough, or without this you're not this, and I have noticed that it almost seems like there's a what word am I looking for? I think there's just this isn't the word. Let me start again. It feels like maybe, I don't know, like the early 2000s, when there was like a huge, when I think eating disorders were rife, and in magazines models were really, really skinny. And I feel like it's the same kind of thing coming back, that the body type is thin. It's so interesting because you go so like left and liberal and change people's minds, and then it just reverts back. And I feel like we're kind of reverting back to that way. But yeah, why am I saying all this? I'm just kind of talking out loud. Oh, speaking of the 2000s, this is a bit of a segue. I had my friend's 30th at the weekend, and I'll include a couple of pictures because it was a Y2K, year 2000s. I didn't know that for a long time. Year 2000s. I think I actually had to look Y2K up on the invite. And yeah, it was really fun, and Molly and I both dressed up, and I think we looked quite good. I think we looked not bad. I think we looked good together. But yeah, is there anything else that I've got to say? No, I think that's actually it. I think, yeah, just keeping on, just doing what I can, feeling more inspired so far this month, feeling better, I'm actually excited about this month, but I say that every month. That's really bad. I think I jinx it every time. No, maybe my expectations for what this month brings aren't as high, but myself, oh, that's actually what I was going to say. I think, touch wood, because my skin is a bit calmer, it's allowing me to focus on like another area where I feel like, oh, I could improve that. Whereas before, when my skin was absolutely hellish, I wasn't thinking of anything else. Like, I didn't care about my weight or, you know, how I looked. All I cared about was sorting my skin. So yeah, it's funny, you always focus on your lack of, don't you, or like what you can change, rather than just focusing on, okay, these are all the amazing things that have changed. So yeah. And I think lastly, I sound like I've got a bit of a lisp. I think just my retainers are still, yeah, they're there, and I'm on number 3 of 9, so we're getting there. They'll come off in September. Woohoo! Or the buttons will come off. Okay, anyway, the last thing that I'm going to say is I have a gift for a friend's 30th. I'm going to have to move it because I can't have this sitting here the whole time, so let me show you. And then, ta-da! I'm just going to quickly go through some skin things because maybe it might be helpful for people with sensitive skin, but take it with a pinch of salt because everyone's skin is different, and so I would never say this is absolutely going to work for you. But if you're a sensitive skinned girly or boy, then these might be helpful for you. So I cleanse with, I'll just quickly talk you through my skin care. And I'm not saying that these products have changed my skin. It's an autoimmune condition, so it's a lot more than just the surface level skin, but this is what I'm doing anyway to keep things at bay. So I ice my face every morning in a bowl of ice water for 1 minute. I then put on my Current Body LED face mask. And after that, I use, night time, I cleanse with QV. It's called QV, and it's from the pharmacy. So, yeah, and then in the morning, I don't cleanse again. I just use ice water. So then, after I've used the LED face mask, I use this. It's Avene Thermal Spring Water for sensitive skin. Yeah, just spray it on. I'm not going to do it now, but yeah, you get the point. Spray it on, then after I use this Avene Tolerance Control Soothing Skin Recovery Cream. This one. Would highly recommend. Again, take it with a pinch of salt. I use this, then I know I should wear SPF every single day, but I don't, which is maybe wrong information to be spreading, just because the weather in Glasgow every day doesn't warrant, I mean, I know you should, but I try and use as little as I can on my face, so I only use the SPF when it is sunny, because I just find if I'm constantly layering my face in creams, it's quite irritating. So I use this Typology Day Cream SPF, and it's from France. Molly introduced me to this brand, but it's really good, really neutral, doesn't smell, yeah, had no issues. So I use that. But it says day cream for multiple signs of aging, which is not far from the truth, but yeah, I don't buy it for an anti-aging purpose, just because it's an SPF with as little fragrance as possible. And then I also have started using, Molly doesn't know this, I don't think, but it's a Kiehl's avocado, all the writings come off, but it's a Kiehl's avocado eye cream. And it looks like this, and I just put it under my eyes in the morning, so maybe that's why I look quite shiny. But yeah, like you can see, if I come really close, you can see like I have, and this is so minor. I'm not saying this to be like, oh, look at this tiny wee thing, because I will include a picture of where my skin has been, so I know exactly like a skin issue. But like you can see around my eyebrows and things, I still get seborrheic dermatitis, and you know, I do come out, break out a bit here, but yeah, not to the level that it has been over the past few years. But yeah, that can change over winter. Okay, anyway, I don't know if that was helpful for anyone. Yeah, if that's helpful, amazing. I couldn't recommend these products more, but yeah, everyone has their own thing, and this is particularly for sensitive skinned girls and guys. I've been so bad at the vlogs because, well, actually the past week I've been PMSing, and also it's so sunny outside, which is why I'm in such a good mood and I feel great, and I just feel like maybe I don't need to be vlogging that. So anyway, that's why. But let me just give you a couple of quick updates. I think the last thing I mentioned was I was going to do some more running and some more weights. And yeah, I've been doing that. I've done 3 runs, which has been lovely. First one was, the first 2 were absolutely awful, and the third one has been okay. And when I say runs, I mean 5K. So I'm just easing into it. Weights have been good, and as in just at home, I haven't signed up for a gym. So that's been good to get back into that. And yeah, just been enjoying being outside. I feel like it's really lifted my mood, and I feel so much better for it. I just feel much lighter, which is fantastic. Molly and I went to Sotto, which is a restaurant in Edinburgh, which was recommended by Stanley Tucci on Instagram, because he's filming his show. I don't know what it's actually called. Maybe it's not Made in Britain, but it's kind of, I imagine the premise, it's not out yet, but the premise is finding Italians in Britain, the best ones. And yeah, or maybe it's just all cuisine, but I know that Sotto is an Italian, and I know that he did a series of Tucci in Italy, which is really good. So yeah, that was really nice. Really nice to just spend the day in Edinburgh. We went there. We went to the Lannan Bakery, and went to the markets. I'll include some pictures. But yeah, just really nice. Molly and I aren't going away for summer. Sorry. Molly and I aren't going away for summer. So it's just been we've been so lucky that we've got a couple of weeks of sun here. It just makes such a difference. And yeah, we're going away in September for a couple of weddings, which will be lovely. One's in Italy and one's in France. So that really is also why we're holding off on going away now. But we've got a couple of nice things coming up, like day or like weekend kind of trips within, well, you can guess, to St Andrews. So that's that. And London. We're going to London in August for a hen, which I'm looking forward to. We're going to Nina and blah, blah, blah. We were going to be in Paris today for seeing Peggy Goo because she was playing there, but it's just too hot. And as I say, we're kind of just trying to save ourselves. We're really hoping to go to Japan, but whether or not that happens, I honestly just don't know. But yeah, feeling good and yeah, just feeling positive. And I think I'm just feeling positive because the sun is shining, and I know that feeling of, well, we all know that feeling when you go away and then I'm talking about abroad, you're away on holiday and then the sun's kind of going down and you come back in and you shower and I've got that, albeit I'm not abroad, I feel that way. I've been outside today doing bits of my laptop, but then also just enjoying the sun and reading and things. And then I came in and showered and you just feel absolutely incredible. And yeah, I'm just being more sensible though. I'm not trying to, I like having a colour, but I don't feel necessarily that I need to, I'm being very careful. Like I'm wearing 50, I cover my face and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, and can't believe we're already 2 weeks through the month. Next month, I have my Antiguan passport arriving, which I am excited about, and I think it gives me some credibility that I do have Antiguan roots. I think, well, I don't really need to validate it or prove it to really anyone else, but I think just for my own, I feel quite proud about getting it. But yeah, okay, I think that's everything. As I say, just feeling really good, really happy, and I hope that you're having a lovely month, and yeah, bye. I've just quickly come on to firstly talk about the football. Molly and I watched it last night. It was England versus Argentina, and I really was rooting for England, albeit I know I'm Scottish. I have lived in London on a couple of occasions, and to be honest, plan on moving back, and do feel I feel British, I suppose. Not in a reform kind of way, but just, I like being united. So I was quite disappointed when they lost, actually. But anyway, that's an aside. So I'm really looking forward to the final on Sunday. I think particularly because Justin Bieber's performing. It's become very Americanized. It's almost like the NFL sort of halftime show. And the other thing that I just wanted to talk about was, and I think I've spoken about this, yeah, I definitely have on a couple of occasions, but I really am seeing so many, and I feel I can talk about this because it's not in a judgmental way, it's in a caring way, and also having experienced it myself, and a lot of other girls have, an eating disorder, and just seeing, I think I've mentioned I'm trying to get a bit more fit, a bit more toned, but I'm not trying to really, really thin and stop eating. And I do feel like I'm seeing a lot of really, really thin girls who I can tell are obviously struggling. And then I watch, then videos of other girls saying how amazing they look and that their goals and, they wish they were that thin and that toned. And it's a bit scary because young girls are consuming that and thinking that that's how you should look. And okay, sorry, I got distracted there. But yeah, I think it's just not great. And it does worry me for younger girls who are, and older girls, it's not just younger girls, really easily influenced. I know it was bad when I was a kid, just even with magazines and even like Special K, all sort of promoting this really one type of body. And I know that this is not a new issue, and I think it just really struck me because I saw a couple of girls and I thought, whoa, it's an eating disorder. And then I saw the follow-up to that was, another girl saying how amazing that these girls looked and how they wanted to look like. And it's not healthy. And it's a worry. It does worry me a bit, actually. Because it's not something you want to experience yourself. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on from that is yesterday I did quite a fun thing. There's a videographer called Kaif, Kaif, who's really talented. And I saw that he was looking for someone. I've actually spoken to him back and forth. He was looking for someone to do a voiceover for a video of a ballerina who actually studied at the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland a few years ago. And yeah, he was looking for someone to do the voiceover for this video. And I did it, and I watched the video, and it's very good, very, very good. Not meaning my contribution, but the visuals and the dialogue that goes with it and the orchestrated music. It's just lovely. I will put a link up here, so if you're interested, you can watch it. But yeah, okay, I think that's everything from me. I am struggling with the heat, but I feel like I shouldn't be complaining because it's rare that it's like this, but there's no AC, so I just feel hot and bothered. Anyway, I'm going to go and try and, my voice just broke, do some work outside on my laptop in the shade. Okay, peace, bye. I've just come on to talk about the Odyssey. It was absolutely incredible. I thought it really was a masterpiece. Definitely one to watch or to see on an IMAX screen. I think it definitely lends itself to its, world building, and you just feel so engulfed in this world, Greek world. I think initially it was quite heavy, or took me a while to get really into, because it's quite complex. So yeah, anyway, I think that's really it. Molly and I were in town yesterday, and it just so happened that it was Pride, and that was really nice to see. I'll put a little video in here. That's amazing. It's incredible. Oh my god, that's so cute. I thought he was trying to get through, and I was like, babes, there's no way. There's literally no. Went round some shops, and yeah, it was actually a really, really nice day. Considering I don't love being in town, it was just really nice. Okay, I am rambling now, and I'm going to peace out. Anyway, bye! First thing is, just sorry, these are going to be back to back. First thing is, I saw the movie The Invite with Moz, directed by Olivia Wilde, and it was so good. I honestly can't recommend it enough. I thought everything about it was incredible. I think to have directed a movie almost 2 hours set entirely in one location, just about conversations or centered around conversation, is so difficult to do. So I'm so impressed. I thought the acting was incredible. I think Olivia Wilde was fab. Her facial expressions were just so good and conveyed so much and so funny. And I saw an article actually comparing her facial expressions to Lucille Ball, who was an actress from back in the day, comedian actress. Yeah, Seth Rogen was great. And Penelope Cruz, she was so good. She was absolutely hilarious, as was Edward Norton. He was great, and actually the monologue that he delivered was really emotional. So as much as it was really hilarious, it was also really moving, and also some of the conversations were just so true, and like so much of it I could really understand, and yeah, it was just fab. So that's that. The other thing is, speaking of the Odyssey as well, just on topics of movies, I reached out to Syncope, or Syncope, however you want to pronounce it, which is Christopher Nolan and his wife Emma Thomas, their production company. And I've just basically, I tried to email them, but anyway, their inbox is too full, so I've written them a letter, and I'll put a picture up here. But their office is in LA, so whether or not it actually gets to them. Then the other thing, the last thing is, just like I've got a good, off the back of doing the voiceover, which I've included, another opportunities come up, which someone I know has presented it to me, which is an acting thing. And off the back of that also, I'm having a conversation with someone in London. So yeah, just good things are happening, and I feel really positive. And yeah, just I feel like this month is kind of giving me what I was hoping for. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about that. But yeah, I think that's everything, to be honest. I'm trying to do this quite quick because I don't have any storage left on my camera. So bye. I'm just trying to wrap this up. I was supposed to do this voiceover and film a bit for an advert, but I won't say too much. And it's not fallen through, but it's on hold. And it's just another example of being in the creative industry and things just being so fickle and just, yeah, tough. And I think it's why I don't really say anything to anyone until something's actually happening and there's proof, because it's happening. So yeah, that's just because I think I mentioned that I was doing stuff or doing something. Anyway, so that was that one. Oh yeah, had a really nice weekend. I'll include a couple of pictures. Molly and I went to Trongate to the Photo Automat, which is in the street level photo works. I think that's it. And the idea, or the actual machine, was instigated by Simon Murphy, who's a photographer who did an exhibition at this gallery that I'm talking about. I think it was 2 years ago, shot in Govan Hill, and it's fantastic, or the exhibition was great, and I got his book at the time. So yeah, that was really good, and I saw some friends, which was lovely to catch up. And what else did I do? Domesticated things. I changed my bed sheets, which is so satisfying. I'll include a picture. And Molly and I there's a name for the pillows that are long, that aren't called long pillows, but they're basically to put in between your bed sheet and your pillows. And they're more for decoration. But anyway, we saw this TikTok of a guy folding his bed sheets like a hotel, and we're obsessed, and so I feel very grown up now that we do that. But anyway, what else? Oh, we watched the Ballad of Wallace Island, which is absolutely incredible, and if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend. It's very heartwarming and very, very emotional, but in such a cathartic and lovely way. So that is one that I would definitely recommend. What else? Oh, weather's changed. Yep, it was so lovely for 2 weeks, and now it's back to normal. But I can't complain because we did have 2 weeks of lovely weather. So that's that. And then, yeah, I hope that you had a lovely month. Next month, there'll be a bit more that's not just me sat in my bedroom talking to the camera, because I don't know. Would I listen to? Yeah, I would listen to that. I'd listen to someone else, maybe like whilst I was cleaning or something, or anyway. So yeah, next month there'll be more happening. Going to London for a hen, and then got some nice restaurants booked and just a few nice shops and things I'd like to go to. And it's our anniversary, so we're going to naturally go to St Andrews, which will be lovely. And then we have some weddings in September. Excuse me. But anyway, I will not talk about it. I will show you it when it happens. But yeah, I think that's everything, to be honest. Nice weekend. Yeah, that's everything. I shall see you next month. And yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.